Hundreds of animals looking for a loving home right here in South Florida. Animal advocate J.C. Birch is here with a couple of cats looking for new friends. Trent, well, get ready for the longest water slide in the world. Woo-hoo! Okay. Too much coffee this morning. I think just a little bit. Anyway, you'll see it right here in South Florida. City officials in West Palm Beach are planning to convert some downtown blocks into the longest water slide. The 1,000-foot slide is planned to run down Clematis Street on Valentine's Day. And although it'll be temporary, it promises to be a thrill. Well, a scary surprise for a family in Utah when they saw a mountain lion on their front porch. Yeah, the family was just hanging out at the cabin when they suddenly looked outside and noticed the huge cat. That cat was so big it had to be tranquilized a number of times before wildlife officials could take it away. But before it was removed, the kids were able to get up close and personal.
Her head was the size of a basketball. So, and the paws were huge.
And the family says despite the big scare, it was all pretty exciting since mountain lion sightings are extremely rare.
Well, many same-sex couples all across Florida are waiting to wed.
That's right. Coming up here from a Miami Beach couple who are planning to say their I do's. All right, Janice, thanks so much. We've got some good news to bring you this morning. A man who suffers from dementia who went missing in Jacksonville has been found safe right here in South Florida. Miami police found James Buckman last night. The 75-year-old was last seen at a bank in Jacksonville. A wildcat somehow found itself inside the grill of a car in Arizona. Crazy, right? Well, police and animal control were called out to Scottsdale to get the animal. The driver of that car told officials that he was driving close to 50 miles per hour when he suddenly hit that cat and thought it had died. But amazingly, when he went to check, the Linux was actually stuck inside the grill and was moving around. Well, you may have heard a crazy rumor on social media that today is Zero Gravity Day. Well, a fake tweet claiming to be from NASA, you should see Todd floating over here, said that the planetary alignment today would leave people weightless thanks to gravity. But while the Earth will be close to the sun, and it's the closest time it gets this time of year, the whole thing is bogus. Sorry, guys. The only people that's going to be floating around today are the astronauts at the International Space Station, and not Todd. Well, it's that time of year where New Year's resolutions haven't been broken. Well, not yet anyway. And we all have a hard time kind of keeping them, especially when it comes to losing that extra weight just a little bit. Well, Christy Kruger has some simple ways to reconstruct your diet and burn calories and build some muscle. The search for the wreckage of Air Asia Flight 8501 is now in its second week. 4 more bodies have been recovered, bringing the total to 34 bodies. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line has issued a statement following the near drowning of a child on board one of its ships. The cruise line said in part, quote, on Saturday, January 3rd, on board the Oasis of the Seas, a 4-year-old male guest.
But he died at the age of 49.
There has been an outpouring of tributes for Scott today from fans, colleagues, and athletes. Local 10 sports reporter Clay Ferrero joins us live with how our local athletes are remembering him. Clay? A wild video out of Central Florida as Good Samaritans step in to catch a thief on the run. Not only did that crook try to get away from police, but he tried to get away in an SUV with his kids inside. Now get this, at a hearing, he tried to have his bond reduced, but the judge denied it.
Tribe that I think those of us that grew up kind of watching sports, will never forget him.
Yeah, as soon as I woke up this morning, you're on Instagram or Facebook. I mean, it was just blanketed with tributes to him.
Well, and you said from meeting him a couple of times at
at journalism conventions. Yeah, he's always been very personable and kind. And in this industry, you don't always meet that, you know, and he's just a great guy. The Cuban dissident group Ladies in White held their first silent protest of 2015. The group took to the streets of Havana earlier today, demanding the release of political prisoners and improved human rights. All right, thanks, Terrell. The search is on tonight for a shooter who gunned down a man right outside of his own home in Miami. The incident happened off of Northwest 69th Street and 14th Avenue. But that crook wouldn't get very far, and it was all thanks to Good Samaritans. Take a look at this. Timothy Bent is seen here being questioned by police officers. He suddenly takes off. The cops try to grab him, but he just keeps going. Surveillance video actually shows what happens next. He runs out into the parking lot, into his car, where bystanders ambush him. It turns out his 2 kids were inside that vehicle.